Anyway, we're just doing more Heart Gold Soul Silver testing. Literally, like, between the Elite Four and Blue, there's nothing worth testing. The game's just completely free, so it's going to be completely brain off, and we can just hang out and talk a little bit. I've been having issues with my energy and drives there. Specific product you help recommend. Well, I know one I definitely don't recommend. Arson sent me to the hospital for 6 months, and I came back even stronger. Dude, the amount of comments... I don't want to talk about the run-and-run video all the entire stream, but the amount of comments on the video that were like, I can't believe you got paid for those ads. Those were so bad. Why would I ever buy that product? Oh, man. I will say positively, a lot of people actually in the comments surprised me with their media literacy. I think there was some pretty good... I think a lot of people had a pretty good idea of what was going on in that video. It's just funny because when I was done with the writing or when I was done like recording them, I was like, man, I really wanted the first one to be like a little bit more believable. I kind of threw out all subtlety and just kind of, you know, it's going to be too unbelievable and it's not really going to, but no, I completely overestimated most people's hairstyles next. I am not going to lie. I am really feeling myself with this buzz cut, dude. Although I will say the full potential comes across more IRL than it does just on stream. I think this camera angle isn't perfect for it. But it was the exact other way around with my last few haircuts. My haircut sometimes looked really good on stream and then looked complete dog shit in real life. And you know, I'm on my feeling myself in real life arc, so... like I have a lot more ideas for like cool outfits and like clothes I want to buy now that I have this haircut. Also, you know what else? It's encouraged me. I feel a lot more confident in the fact that I want to get tattoos now. I just kind of got to lock in. The VPN ad wasn't real. You were zoned out. That was not a VPN ad. That's really funny. So, you know how most... That's a male combi. You know how most airports these days, I wouldn't say most, but a lot of airports are starting to have the like good baggage check security machines, like the ones where you don't have to take all your shit out. You just leave all your shit in, you put it in, nothing ever comes through for the secondary check. Even though I put like a ton of electronics and everything in my backpack, they don't ever have to pull it out. You guys know what I'm talking about? They've been starting to roll those out. Those are really sick. They don't have those at Charles de Gaulle. They had, I swear to God, the oldest baggage check machine I've ever seen in my entire life at the capital of France. This is like a central hub airport. And I was transferring flights, by the way. I had like luckily I had like a 4-hour layover. So it's an old thing. So I take out like every device. I travel with a lot of tech. Okay. I usually have like stuff that I can like stream or do D&D with or stuff like that. So I'll usually have a microphone with me. I'll have a camera with me. I'll have my laptop with me. I'll have a second monitor, like an external monitor for the laptop. And then I'll have my Switch. So usually I take out everything that has like a screen. The way I pack this tech backpack is I have like little, a bunch of little bags that I put individual stuff in. They're all like labeled. So I have like individual modules that for example, I have like my camera and my microphone in the same model, in the same like little module type thing. So that when I'm like, okay, I'm maybe going to record something on this travel, boom, just pop that in there, right? I'm very passionate about efficiently packing. Anyway, so that's all cool. So usually when I go to the old machines, no problem. I just take out everything that has a screen, right? Take out the one thing that has like all the liquids in it that I have in my backpack. Boom. Line them all up. Easy. Now this motherfucking machine was so old. I swear to God, it didn't have the conveyor belt that would automatically... I had to physically push the bins over the like metal rollers into the fucking machine. What the f... So first of all, right... So that happens. Again, the other side, and I see the bags that are coming out of this machine are piling up, right? It is, and I kid you not, every other bag that is coming out of the machine for secondary checks. And remember, there's no terrorists there. Nobody's bringing like weapons or anything, right? Like all of these are going to make it through the secondary check. So this machine has like a false positive rate of like 50%. Like they might as well flip a coin. Like at some point, do you not think that maybe the machine's just not very good?
What game is this and what is going on? I am out of the loop.
I guess I haven't explained it at all today, huh? Do you guys remember the Gen 1 tier list video we posted like 2 months ago or whatever? I'm doing the same, but for Heart Gold Soul Silver. And for that, I have to test all the... I'm testing all the encounters you might find in your vanilla Nuzlocks. And just testing out like how good they are to make a more informed tier list, basically. And right now I'm on I'm doing 3 run-throughs, one for every starter, where I kind of just go through most of the, or I like try to get as many encounters as I can each, and then just kind of test them and do some like test battles against all the boss fights as I go. All right, next we're looking for, oh, Blissey. It's the Nuzlocke you recommend starting with, just whichever your favorite game is. You just scrap the series, it's not very exciting. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool, personally, so I think I'll keep doing it. In Before Chansey doesn't appear here at night. Can I get a fact check on that, Drazurk? Or it's probably just like a 1%, right? Yeah, Heart Gold, it's not even just Heart Gold Soul Silver's length. Like, that's kind of fine. Like, Kanto doesn't really matter. It only has like 2 boss fights that are actually hard. But it's more the how like arcane some of these encounters are to get, and how many different encountering methods there are. That's really annoying about this. It's probably up there for more annoying. Alright, it's just a 1%. We'll get there. You know, I could just PKX it in, but I'm in the flow right now. I'm feeling myself, you know. So anyway, I was on vacation in St. Martin in the Caribbean. It's one of the lesser known Caribbean islands. It's actually half of it is French, half of it is Dutch, which is how I ended up connecting over the disgusting piece of junkyard that is Charles de Gaulle. No disrespect to the man himself, of course. I don't really know anything about him, but as a German, I feel like I should stay on the safe side regarding that. One thing I gotta say, I don't have a lot to tell you because it's just the Caribbean islands. There's just nice beaches and stuff like that, but like there's not that much to do. But one thing I will say that I noticed is we rented a car, and when we were talking about what kind of car to rent, because I was landing later and my friends were like doing all the car rental stuff, I was like, yeah, I don't really care about like getting an SUV or whatever. I don't really care what kind of, I just like small cars or whatever. That's fine. And because we're not going like off-roading or anything, right? We're just driving from the Airbnb to places. And I was like, I don't really care about it, because everyone was like, oh, there's like so many SUVs you can like rent here and stuff like that, and I don't really care about that. But had I known what I know now, I would have definitely gotten an SUV. Because oh my god.
And your team absolutely nailed it.
Thank you. I don't know if this is what it's like in the rest of the Caribbean, or if this is like a more common thing in a lot of places, but St. Martin is the capital of the world of speed bumps. What the dude, they must just have like a lot of problems with people that speed or whatever. Oh my god, dude. I don't remember what model car we got. It was like some Nissan. Not an SUV at all. And dude, we were getting our asses destroyed. Dude, like, are the bigger cars a pain to find space for? Yes, absolutely. But the thing that I'm wondering, and I technically have a traffic engineering degree, so I should know this, I guess. Like, obviously, speed bumps are like an effective way to reduce people speeding. But isn't it kind of how it's basically, it's just as much a suspension check as it is a speed check? I don't know, like, we had to slow down to fucking, like, walking pace for most of the roads. And I'm pretty sure, like, if you're driving like a Jeep or something, you can just kind of scoot over those motherfuckers. Like, dude, these were like the biggest speed bumps I've ever seen in my life. It feels like there's like a arms race going on where people are just buying bigger and bigger SUVs because they don't with the speed bumps. So they're just making the speed bumps bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, we scraped the underside of that car a lot, and we were going slow. Hey, sorry to be a pain, but I couldn't find the link to Chastity King in the description of the video. Oh, we didn't add that. Yeah, the link should actually work. If you go to chastityking.pchal, at chastityking.com/pchal, if that was the link, let me check. They ended up pulling out of the deal, but the link does actually still work. Yeah, so you can technically buy some products there if you want to. If you go to chastityking.com/pchal. Do you know what you're gonna nuzlocke next? Yeah, it'll happen once I'm done with this. I'm not telling you yet though. What's your morning routine? Good question. Get up, immediately go on my phone. Not scroll any social media because I don't do that anymore. Just check who like texted me on Discord, check my emails. And then usually I'll put on like the like a news podcast, usually by either by the Zeit or the Süddeutsche Zeitung, just like 2 German newspapers, and I'll get on my stationary exercise bike and do the weakest 15 minutes of exercise bike paddling you've ever seen in your life. Because I don't even do it to work out. I literally just do it to build the habit. I don't really care about it being a good workout at the moment. And usually those podcasts are exactly 15 minutes, so that's the time that I cycle for. And then I make breakfast. Usually one of those like prepped frozen meals. There's like healthy, we don't have Factor here, but there's like other meal kits you can get. And then while that meal heats up in the microwave, usually takes like 10 minutes, I'll take the exact 10 minutes and I'll clean the kitchen. And then I eat while watching YouTube videos. Or, there she is. Damn, that only took like 17 minutes. And then I'll go on my phone for like a little bit longer. We're like texting people, like replying to texts, organizing my day, kind of pacing around my apartment, being on my notes or whatever, and kind of writing stuff down that I want to do for that day. And then I sit down and read, like one chapter of whatever I'm reading, or like 10 pages or something like that. And then I write a poem, and then I do my daily puzzles. For those wondering, it's Connections, the Daily Mini, and Minute Cryptic. And then I shower, and while the shower heats up, I clean the bathroom, and then I get to work. There's a lot of people doing poetry recently. We're trying to escape into the arts, you know? Or, you know, it's that the human mind likes to notice patterns, so you heard about 2 people doing like a thing that's like decently common sometimes, that's like not unreasonable for people to do, and then you assume there was a pattern. It's not like a video essay came out with like 20 million views. It's like, this is why doing poetry is based or whatever. That's at least that's not why I started writing. Anyone here watch Severance? Oh man, I don't want to talk about Severance with chat. I have really hot takes about Severance. We already talked about it actually. We talked about it like last time I streamed. It was like 2 months ago. I really don't like it. To be fair, I haven't actually finished the season yet. I'm like, but I kind of don't want to keep watching. I don't think it's very good. I think a mystery show needs to either have a compelling mystery, or if you want your mystery to be more abstract, then you at least need to have compelling characters. Severance kind of feels like Lost to me. But I don't want to say too much without having watched the last 2 episodes of the season. It's got really good cinematography, like maybe the best that you can get anywhere right now. I actually have a way hotter current TV take that I'm not even sure I want to bring up because I know like my chat is the exact type of people to hype the out of that show. It. Let's do it. Let's. I'm willing to tango. Holy f***. Invincible is a dog show. Holy shit. I think after season 1 came out, I think I gave it a 7, and I think after season 2 I changed it to a 5, and I think I have it at a 3 or something on IMDb now. It's so f***ing dog shit. Oh my god. My main complaint I can't even talk about because it's technically a spoiler. Who gives a shit, man? If you care about like spoilers for that show, just go f yourself, I guess. Dude, nobody ever dies in that show. What the f? Every single person that dies gets brought back. And it's if you've never seen the show, you think I'm exaggerating. They bring a dead character back every single episode. Every single episode. I swear to God. Nothing ever matters in that show. Nothing has consequences. You think that I'm like exaggerating, but it really is that bad. Like there is a death, and at some point, I think they kind of gave up on like even giving reasonable, like those Mahler twins or whatever, they're just kind of back, or like they've been brought like 3 times. At this point, we don't have to explain how, like, the first episode is the only episode where people die permanently. I actually legitimately, I think that's true. I think everyone else who dies in that show gets brought back at some point. And the thing is, if someone were to permanently die now at this point, I wouldn't believe the show. Like, I would just be like, yeah, you'll just bring him back. I don't care. It's crazy. The character writing in this 3rd season was also just complete. Like, what? There was no arc to anyone's character. Everyone on that show is just kind of annoying. That romance between Shrink Ray and what's his face, Rex. Also, why in the final episode, just complete spoilers at this point. I don't give a f anymore, dude. In the final episode of the season, when Rex dies. And they're at the funeral. By the way, Rex, at this point, you can tell me, and I've seen people say, oh, Rex is permanently dead. He doesn't come back in the comics. I don't believe you. I don't give a shit. I'm not giving these writers any credibility. But, why does the robot guy during the funeral go up and be like, I'm changing my name to Rex? And it's played for like an emotional moment. Like it's like a moving thing. Like that's hella weird, dude. Nobody points out how that's weird. What the f? You gets more absurd every season. They're kind of self-aware about it, but also like in the way that I'm self-aware about like the sponsor at the end of the month thing where I just kind of keep doing it. Like, I don't know. There's like, I think there's like no like self-awareness in there's no value in the self-awareness of that show. It's just stupid plot contrivance over. It's fun to watch for me for the same reason that like the Star Wars prequels are fun to watch, because I feel like every time I watch, I find like a new plot hole or dumb thing in the script or something. I don't know. Like, shh, guys, it's a secret. It's a secret late night stream, okay? Nobody tell anyone. I'm pretty sure this light here, even though I have it plugged in for charging, I'm pretty sure it discharges faster than it charges, so this is going to run out at some point. So I have to figure out something else, but I don't know. I just wanted to try around with this. I think it looks kind of neat. I only watch anime for eye candy animation. Oh, yeah. Well, at least you're honest about it. That's completely, like, I respect the f out of that. I watch for that reason sometimes. Like, that's why I watch Severance, right? Because the only good thing about that show is that it looks good. Starting off strong today. The real lost con is the subscriber showdown tournaments. Those were the days, man. Those also sucked ass, by the way. That was way worse content, because at least Reddit review was over in like 15 minutes. But subscriber showdown tournaments took like 6 hours. I swear to God. Have you watched The Sopranos? I've watched like the first half of the first season. It's good. I was very surprised by what it was. It's like a... It's like very explicitly like a show that critiques like masculinity. I was just very surprised to see that in a show from like the 2000s. Like not even like it's like super upfront about it, right? I think I had trouble keeping up with a lot of the characters. Like apart from Tony, I don't really so far have a strong idea of what who the other characters are. Maybe that's on me for not paying enough attention though. Did you get Burger King after eating Run and Bun? I talked about this with my friends at bouldering today. I'm kind of past the age of liking fast food, I think. I fuck with McDonald's still. I can't lie. They got some products that are really, but man, Burger King. And the thing is, like, I'm gonna say like, oh, if Burger King is actually like really dog shit, and then all the Americans in my chat are gonna be like, yeah, of course it's Burger King, not understanding that Burger King Germany is like, or at least used to be like decent-ish. Which is a discussion I've had with my chat for pretty much my entire streaming career. So, you know, that's 10 years of worthless discussions right there. It's not even being over it. Sometimes it's time for a new chapter, you know? You gotta open yourself up to new experiences sometimes. I'd love to play some New Game Plus sometime. I'd love to run up some early game especially, but I think it's just... I think I'm in a different phase of my life now, you know? KFC is the worst chicken place there is. Well, my friend, in most European countries, it's the only chicken place there is. Chain, at least. Okay, I think you have to run specs if you want to do this. Which means you can't... Yeah, that's the problem with Machamp. It does so much damage, and nobody one-shots it, so to one-shot it, you need, like, damage boost. But then you can't equip, but also you need a Lumberry for switching in. And because it does so much damage, it's really hard to manipulate into one move. Okay, so now we've encountered an issue, is that none of these common Pokemon counter Machamp. We have to look at our box and see what we think would be our best Machamp counter. Yeah, Origami Angel cooked. I can't deny it. They made some... You know what the hardest part about all that was? I've had both of those songs. Let me check. When did he send them to me? Because I remember getting sent those songs when I was setting up one of the Run and Bun streams. And I was so f***ing hyped. I was so f***ing excited hearing that song for the first time. I was crying a little bit and stuff. Obviously, because this is like a really good band that I really like. And they like wrote a song about me. And it's like slaps. It was I got sent this, I think either in the break screen or like the going live screen. I was outside smoking a cigarette because I was still smoking at the time. And I listened to it and I was like super emotional about it. And then I had to like start stream, but I couldn't say anything about it. I'm pretty sure I was in Mount Pyre at the time, which is funny because that's where a friend just DM'd me, rizzed up an older woman on Hinge, and then he says her age. Tell me you are proud of me. And her age is 31. Don't say that that's an older woman, dude. I'm gonna... We only have a few Pokemon left to test. It's basically just Gyarados, Cyndaquil, and the headbutt encounters. If you are actually curious about my video creation process, specifically of the Run and Bun video, I am this weekend recording a director's commentary for that video, and we'll be uploading that to my Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/pChal and you subscribe at the director's commentary tier or whatever it's called, I think it's the $5 tier, don't quote me on that, you will be able to watch that very soon. Probably within the next week. Also, if you're even more interested than that, if you subscribe on the Patreon tier that's currently called the Egglock tier, but will be renamed soon, not only will you be able to watch... not only will you be able to submit eggs for my current Egglock of Storm Silver that I'm doing on the Patreon, you will also be able to see a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff that we're going to be uploading to the Patreon as we go. I've decided to seriously try my hand at beat Emerald Kaiso, but it feels like a knowledge curve for this game has gotten so much steeper since 3 years ago or so. It's quite daunting. I feel severely behind. The community seems like it can be pretty elitist at times. Well, for newcomers, I'm curious if there's any good place to learn the game. Prove with too much judgment. Unfortunately... no, the hardcore Nuzlocke community is just always going to be a little bit elitist, a little bit. It's going to have its fair share of gatekeepers, but it's also going to have its fair share of helpful people. If you go into the Emerald Kaiso channel in my Discord, like, the split is probably going to be in favor of the people who actually want to help you, but you just got to be able to deal with a couple people that are like a little bit snobby about it. Just comes with the territory. When I was in grade school, one of my classmates printed Misty hentai and sold it to us for $5. The teacher found out and he got suspended for 2 weeks for selling Misty porn. Come on. Let me guess. This was in the United States. I do remember one time I was walking through school. This was like, I think my graduation year. I was walking through like a hallway and it had like a, what do you call this? Fuse box. There was like an open fuse box, right? Because normally it's locked with a key. I was alone in this hallway and there's an open fuse box. And I walked past it and I'm like 17. I'm like, okay, f it. I just flip all of them. And apparently the fucking school's servers, like like all the computers had crashed and the servers had like a huge software issue after that and they had to like redo the whole thing and the thing was down for like 2 weeks. And nobody ever found out it was me. It was so fucking based. Dude, the perfect crime. Just because a fight is monotype doesn't mean it's free. Monotype fights are pretty hard in like actually difficult Nuzlocke. So just think about like Watson or Flannery and EK. Like those fights are hard because they're monotype. Because you can have like 2 or 3 fire type counters, but to have 6 is a pretty big ask. And I think there's like competitive teams that like go for a strategy like that too, right? I'm just trying to see if Heracross sweeps. That's all I'm trying to do right now. I just have nothing in my box that I'm testing right now that efficiently removes the Gyarados, so it's really f***ing annoying. Show me Thunderwave, please. F your ass, dude. I guess you can have Scarf at this point, huh? He's gonna give it to me. I know it. I know. He's got it. He's got it. He's got the Scarf. I didn't just waste my time and have to PK it anyway. F you. But I mean, you still have to bring it in, dodge Fire Blast, crit and stuff like that. So... get CC for Claire, so can probably sweep if you somehow get it in with Guts and a Scarf on, I guess. Guts Heracross, close combat versus Kingdra, guaranteed 2 at KO. Alright, delete that. You go to Liquid City events? Well, I tried once, but... basically what happened was, I misread a... so stupid. I took like 3 of my friends to a Liquid City event after a TwitchCon. I was like, yo, this is still going on through Sunday. The last day of TwitchCon. We can just go to this Liquid City festival. They're partying throughout all of Sunday. The last day. I misread it. So we get there Sunday evening and everyone's leaving. And it took us like 2 hours to get there. That was my only time I went to one of those events, so we have to like walk of shame back to the same taxi driver that just brought us there. Dude, I wanted to fucking die. He's in Guts now. He's crazy. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, man. I'm not making any progress here. I want to see how much Dragon Pulse... Jesus fucking Christ. Takes too much damage from Kingdra. Ouch. Okay, but real pre-shredded cheese is obviously garbage. We all agree with that, right? It's like, it's such a failure of a product because you only use shredded cheese to melt, but because it's coated in potato starch so that it doesn't stick together, it doesn't even fucking melt properly. Just take the 5 seconds to shred the cheese yourself, you lazy f***. Pre-shredded is fine after you wash it. This is a 50-50 on this is bait or not. I'm pretty sure it's bait though. It's the best melty kind of, if you need like melty cheese, if you need something with a really like a grilled cheese or something, or a cheeseburger, you put some American or some processed cheese on that has the fucking citric acid in it or whatever, or the sodium citrate is what it is. That makes the emulsion not split when it melts, so it becomes like saucy. That's the good shit there. Steak tartare once tasted like a quarter pounder. Mustard pickles it to me, and I've never enjoyed. Dude, I've made the same experience. There was a tasting menu restaurant that we went to in Miami, where I think it was like a steak tartare, and they served it on this like specific homemade bun, and it had like some tomato-y stuff and some pickles and stuff in it. And we tasted it, and we're all like, what the f does this taste like? And I was like, dude, this tastes exactly like a McDonald's cheeseburger. Because, or a McDonald's hamburger, because there was like sweetness from like, that kind of tastes like ketchup, and the texture of the bread was exactly like the texture of the bread that they use at McDonald's. And I wonder if that was, it was so close that I thought it was on purpose. Which I think would have been really cool. Like, that's the type of shit that I go to tasting menu restaurants for, is like, yo, we put a bunch of fancy ingredients together, and we made something that reminds you of a McDonald's hamburger. But like, we like labored over making the texture of the bread like perfect for it, you know? All right. It's not the most thoroughly researched tier list, but I think I definitely have thoughts on every mon now. I think I understand what this game is about. I understand what you need to win in this game. I understand more about the routing, and I think I'll be able to write a good tier list about this.